Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a look based around a red lip just in time for the holidays. And I've got a couple new products that I want to share with you guys, including the Fenty Beauty Eaze drops that I finally got my hands on. I'm really excited to create this look for you guys, so let's get started. I'm going to start by priming the lips with the Thrive Causemetics Liquid Lip Balm. And I love using this product, especially around the drier winter months when my lips are super chapped and dry. And since we are doing a red lip today, I want to make sure that my lips are nice and moisturized before we get to actually applying the lip color. We're starting off with the brows today, and I recently picked up this NYX The Brow Glue because it went super viral and I was very curious about what all of the hype was about. First thing that I noticed was that it's very glue-like, as the name would suggest, but it does a pretty good job of holding my brows in place. The formula is pretty thick, so it gives you that room to really spike up your brows if you want, or you can smooth them down like that. And what I like to do is focus more of the product in the front at first and get that shape down. Now this stuff does dry down pretty hard, so if you don't like that feel in your brows, then you definitely won't like this. I personally don't mind it. Truly my only complaint about this is because of the consistency of the product, it kind of gets gloopy in the brows a little bit, and I think the way to solve that would be to put it in a mascara like tube or applicator. I think just with how small the applicator is, it makes it hard to distribute such a thick product in a small area. Next, I'm going to fill in my brows quickly with this Profusion Good Brow Day brow pen, and I believe this is the shade Espresso, but I will have the correct shade listed down below. Alright, now the brows are done and carved out, and we're going to prime the skin with the NYX Honey Do Me Up Primer. I chose this product because I do have dry skin, and I knew going into using the Fenty Eaze drops that it was on the more matte side, so I kind of wanted to prep my skin for that. And as you can tell by the fact that it's almost empty, I love this stuff. I'm not a huge primer girl. Normally I'm pretty good with moisturizer, but this year I did find a couple primers that I actually believe in, and I'm going to be sharing those in my Best of Beauty of 2021 video at the end of the year here. And I do like to apply this primer all over the face and use a foundation brush to spread everything out, and use a foundation brush to make sure I'm getting full coverage of the primer on my face. This primer really plumps the skin up, and it also just provides a really nice layer for the foundation to sit on top of beautifully. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and go in with the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade 16, and it does say to shake it up first. And just like with the primer, I'm going to apply it with my finger and then use the brush to spread it out. I think this shade 16 is a great shade for me. I actually might have gotten a little bit too much, so I'm going to start with that. Now, I had watched a few reviews because, like I said, I had waited a while before I was able to actually pick this up. And like I said earlier, I knew that it was on the matte side, so I was a little bit worried about whether or not I would like it, but a few of the people that I watch who also have dry skin really enjoyed it. So I was so eager to pick this up and kind of had a feeling that I would enjoy it, and so far I really do. I wasn't a huge fan of the original foundation launch in the Fenty Beauty line. I felt like it was just a little bit too matte for me personally. Of course I could make it work, but there were just other foundations that I liked better. So this one by far is my favorite complexion product from Fenty Beauty thus far. So you could see it applied on the skin beautifully. It didn't take away from the glow that my skin already had, which is really nice, but you can see that it also didn't add any glow. So it is matte, but it's more of like a, a softer matte formulation. Like I said earlier, I really do enjoy this shade. I think this shade works very well. It's called a skin tint, but it does definitely have more medium coverage, so just to be aware of that in case you were wondering. For concealer, I'm taking a tried and true favorite, and that is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Honey, and I'm going to go under the eyes with that. Because I am using a red lip today, I'm going to color correct around the mouth using the Black Radiance True Complexion HD Corrector. Now I am going to go ahead and layer a concealer on top of the corrector, so I want to make sure it's nice and blended in with my brush. And for that concealer, I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade Deep Tan. And this is another product that's no stranger to my channel. Since we used Fenty Beauty for the complexion, we might as well stick with that for the cream bronzer. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty cream bronzer in the shade Chocolate. And I'm using the same brush that I used to apply the skin tint, the same brush that I used to apply my primer. Well, guys, I honestly cannot believe that the year is coming to an end here soon. I cannot believe how fast this year flew by. Ooh, I cannot believe how fast this year flew by. Just wow. And I mean, I know I had a lot of really great things happen this year. Some major life changes. Of course, some not so great stuff happened too, but I don't know. I'm choosing to learn from those and, you know, try to move on positively. I know that one thing I definitely want to do in 2022 is be way more consistent with my channel. I was more consistent in 2021 than I have been in the years past, but I want to be even more consistent coming up. And as one would expect, this Fenty Beauty cream bronzer works beautifully with the skin tint here. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and blend out my concealer, starting with around the mouth. I'm doing more patting to make sure I don't move the corrector underneath. Alrighty, so this is how everything looks before I add any powder. I think everything looks so beautiful. What do you guys think? To set the concealer, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Honestly, guys, I have not stopped using this powder since I picked it up back earlier in the year, like February. Now, I normally set by using a damp sponge, but today I'm actually going to go in with a powder puff and using the rolling technique. Picking up some of the powder like I normally would on the sponge, but I'm going to go ahead and dab off the extra on the back of my hand. Now, alright. So I switched from rolling to gently dabbing, and I'm really just setting where I have concealer. And I haven't gone back for more powder yet. I'm just using what I have on the powder puff. All right, next I'm going to set the cream bronzer with a powder bronzer from Thrive Causemetics. I actually have hit pan on this bronzer. I'm so proud. This, I fell in love with this product right when I discovered it again here in 2021. You'll definitely be hearing about this in my Best of Beauty 2021 video. Today I'm using it to set my cream bronzer, but I also love using it on its own, whether that's on top of foundation or without any foundation at all. It's just a beautiful bronzing powder. Now, the only first impression we have in this video is actually this blush by Milani. This is one of their rose powder blushes in the shade Spiced Rose, and this blush has been around forever, but I've never tried it. I'm so in love with the baked blushes, but I honestly don't know how I haven't tried this already. Look how freaking gorgeous. Oh, that is beautiful. And this is a nice nude rose pink shade that won't clash with the red lip. Seems to be pretty pigmented there. Ooh. Yeah, that is pigmented. Alright, I'm gonna get the excess off of the brush here so that I can blend out what's on my face. But this is a very beautiful shade. Since we want the focus to be on the lips today, I'm going to do something very simple for the eyes. And I'm going to go in with my Makeup by Mario Master Matte eyeshadow palette. First, I'm going to take the shade Matte 5 as a transition shade and just blend that into the crease. And now I'm taking that same shade and going in the lower lash line. Now I'm taking Matte 2 on a small flat brush and going in the inner corner and lid with it. Now I'm taking a clean brush to blend those together. Next, I'm going to mix the shades Matte 6 and Matte 11 to make a shadow wing liner. And I'm going to take those same two shades and put them just in the outer corner of the lower lash line. Now I'm going to use black liquid liner very, very close to the upper lash line just to thicken the lash line, not to wing it out. So for mascara, I threw on the MAC Magic Extension Mascara, and I mean, you guys already know I love this mascara. And for the lips, I am going to be using a lip liner, especially because we're doing a red lip today. And I'm actually going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon. And this is the shade Berry Red. Hopefully this will work with the Tom Ford lipstick I've got. All right, now that I've got the lip liner all blended out, let's go ahead and pull out this lipstick. And this is the Tom Ford lip color in the shade Scarlet Rouge. And guys, this packaging is so gorgeous. Just, look at that. I'm wondering if I maybe should have used a different liner, but it'll be all right. Okay, first off, this shade is gorgeous. It's also super moisturizing, very creamy, and it smells really good. Oh yeah, it smells like vanilla. All right, now I'm gonna take these Q-tips that I got from Shop Misset that have like a sharp end on one side to clean up the sides of my mouth here. And I'm using a tiny bit of micellar water. All right, we've got everything cleaned up, and here is the final look. I think this look turned out beautiful. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. So if it's not already obvious, I really, really enjoy the Fenty Eaze drops here. Highly recommend, especially for the price point and the coverage that it gives you, the fact that it's so long wearing. On my dry skin, I find that I don't have to powder it for it to last, which is great. And again, if you use me for a shade reference, I used the shade 16. This Milani blush was really pretty, definitely more pigmented than I expected, and also a little bit more pink on my face than I expected it to be based on what it looked like in the container here, but you know, I definitely like it. Also, I know that I mentioned that it's like the baked blush without the shimmer. There definitely is a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's more subtle shimmer than in the Milani baked blushes. And then lastly, this Tom Ford lip color is gorgeous. Wow, it looks really beautiful on my skin tone. I think it would look good on a lot of people's skin tones actually. And comment down below what you think about this lip color and if you think you're going to be wearing a lot of red lips this holiday season. Well, that wraps up my video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you supporting my channel, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and an amazing holiday season. Bye.